Hank here. Just going to be going over a few kind of morning routines, some things I like to do to get warmed up at the beginning of the day or throughout the day if I'm feeling tight or cold. I'm just going to go through some exercises, give you some variations, explain them, give you some sets and rep schemes, just go through them like that, and you can kind of play around with them, take what you like, take what you don't like, use the different routines, kind of build your own, and find what works for you. Alright, one of the first things I like starting out with is a heel-toe rock. We're just pulling our toes up, driving the balls of our feet down. Just pull up, drive down, get a good squeeze. We just want to get that blood flowing through our ankles, our joints warmed up, everything moving through there. If you have a little bit of room, you can do a dynamic heel-toe walk where you're just going to pull your toes up, step forward on your heel, drive the ball of your foot down, pop up. You can go back and forth a few times. You just want to get that blood flowing, everything kind of moving, warmed up in there. The next thing I like doing is a good morning. So we're gonna go nice and wide. Just start as wide as you're comfortable. If you need to, start about shoulder width and then just start to work it out. From here, we wanna keep our chest up and out. We're squeezing those shoulder blades together. Our chin's neutral, not really tucked down. Just keeping it up a little bit. We wanna make sure we're looking up. We don't wanna look down. And then suck that belly button in. And if you concentrate kind of on the top of your hips here, we're not bending our knees down. We're reaching back with our hips, making sure we're pushing our thighs out to the side. You're gonna get a nice stretch in your hamstrings. Go as far down as you're comfortable, and then we wanna pull our heels back and squeeze our butt to drive our hips forward. So keep that chest up, look up, reach back with your hips, push those thighs out, get that nice stretch. Pull your heels back like you're scraping gum off the bottom of your shoe. Squeeze those glutes, bring those hips forward, get a nice flex. Don't overdo it. Just come up, get a nice solid stance here. Reach back. As you get comfortable, you can work this out wider and wider. Just make sure you continue to push those thighs out. Try to keep a good connection with your feet. You're grabbing the ground with your toes. Reach back with those hips. You can reach forward a bit. If you want to kind of counterbalance, help you get a little bit lower. Drive down and out. Squeeze those glutes, bring those hips forward. One of the ways you can change this up is you do more of a split stance. So I'll bring this in. One foot's going forward, one foot's going a little bit back. You can start out with your toes kind of lined up in the middle or more towards the heel of the other foot. Same thing, chest up, squeeze those shoulder blades, reach back with those hips. You can counterbalance a little bit if you'd like. Get that nice deep stretch in there. We're pulling back, squeezing, driving everything forward. Make sure you hit both sides. You can do all one side first and then go to the other. Don't need to alternate. And then after that, I like doing squats. Same thing with these. You want to work these nice and wide. Start out as wide as you're comfortable. Keep that chest up. You want to tuck your chin a bit here. Suck that belly button in. Make sure you're driving those thighs out. We're going to sit back and down. You want to get a nice stretch in here. Really push those thighs out. Try to sit back into your glutes. Get as low as you're comfortable. Push down and out with those feet. Squeeze your butt. Come back up. So keep that chin tucked. Reach back. Drive out. Same thing. You kind of put those hands forward to counterbalance a little bit if you want. You just don't want to round forward. Make sure you keep those eyes looking up. Push down and out with those feet. Squeeze your glutes. Boom. Hips forward. And then as you get comfortable, just go wider and wider. Get that nice stretch. Squeeze with those feet. Good. A few ways you can switch this up. You can bring your feet in a little bit closer and then just go for depth. Try to get nice and low with it. You still want to keep those thighs pushed out. Drive those feet down. Squeeze your glutes. Come back up. You can also do split stance. Similar to the good morning. Make sure you hit both sides. After that, I like to hit some twists, just some standing twists, get that core going. One of the things I really like about this is if my back's tight, it helps to loosen up my back. So I'm going to start with my feet a little more than shoulder width apart, chest up, elbows to the side. And then we're just going side to side. And one of the things I like to do with this is I'll lean back. You can kind of change that angle. You'll hit different parts on your back. You can lean forward, same thing. You'll target different muscles, loosen up different parts of that spine. You can stand back up and you can play with where your elbows are at. Hand position. You can go wide, swing those arms around, kind of loosen up by your shoulders. And you just play around with it, see what you like. And do a few different angles. Just kind of loosen up your whole back. After the twists, I like to hit some swimmers. For these, we're going to put our hands in the lower part of our back. We're gonna push our elbows as far back as they'll go, and then we're gonna reach. You're gonna reach with those fingers down, out. We're gonna rotate those hands, reach up as high as we can, and then back down, pushing those hands back, bringing them to the lower part of our back. And same thing, we're gonna drive down, out, and up, and back down. And I like to alternate which hand is on the lower part of my back and which one is outside. Back down. And then after the swimmers, on that last rep, I like to hold my hands at the very top and then do some side bends. Just going to the left and the right. And I want to make sure I keep reaching up. Get a nice stretch in the side. Reach up. Get a nice stretch. Just go side to side. That's usually, I just do those exercises. Generally I run through a set or two. For the heel toe rocks, anywhere between like 15 and 20. For the good mornings, anywhere between kind of 10 and 25, depending on how you're feeling and how many sets you're doing. For the squats, same as the good mornings, 10 to 25, depending on sets and how you're feeling. For the twists, you can start out doing 10 to 15 on each angle, and then just work it up from there. For the swimmers, I generally stick to about 10, and then for the side bends, anywhere kind of between 10 and 25, depending on how you're feeling, how tight you are, and how loose you want to be. Awesome. Thank you.